Good morning, everybody. AJ, the CEO here. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hello, hello, hello. We just completed one more trip around the sun, folks. Yesterday was my birthday. Thank y'all so much for the people who sent me a shout out. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. But hey, if you didn't know, AJ, the CEO here, we come here every Friday as best as we possibly can to try and answer your media ministry questions. I don't know everything, folks, but hopefully I can at least answer some of your questions to the stuff I do know, or at least point you in the direction of anybody in the community or any other resources to try and help your journey in media ministry go a lot smoother. We don't pay gate everything. We try and answer as best as we possibly can. And guess what? If I don't know it, I will tell you. So that's the difference about everything, folks. Let's go. I keep forgetting this, so let me go ahead and do all the formal stuff. If I don't get to, well, no, let me do it in reverse. I'm tripping, folks. Let's go ahead and holler at some folks. Not as many people on today as usual, but hey, We go with what we got. Parker, good morning. Anthony, hello, sir. Greater Zion Media Ministry, how are you doing? Mike from Canada, how you doing? Faith Assembly Christian Center, hello. Ryan, how you doing? From Barbados. Darius, what is going on? My sister Kathy, hello, and thank you. Noah, hello, good morning. Reverend Leroy, how you doing, sir? Pamela, good morning. Daniel, hello. Jerry, good morning. And Mr. Albert, hello. So I don't know what in the world it was last week. All my stuff is obviously working now. I don't know what it is. I think Windows did some type of update and it kind of just messed up a bunch of things. But, oh well. So what I was saying, folks, is if I can't get to your question, know that you can email me at questions@ajhomes.com. Give me 48 to 72 hours to respond to you. If we go back and forth with multiple emails, I will highly recommend you just go ahead and book a consultation. Go to ajhomes.com. And I keep saying this. I need to consolidate all of my websites. ajhomes.com/consultations. We do phone, we do Zoom, we do on-site. I actually got to do a tech support call literally right when this is over here in town. So heading out at 1:30 to go do that. And why does it look like my camera is not in focus? Hold on 1 second. There we go. That's better. What else? What we got? Hey, if you're not a part of it, folks, know that you can I highly recommend you go to Facebook and look up Modern Media Ministry Made Easy. Answer the 3 questions, and you are in like Flynn. We have 3,400 media ministries from all over the world where we collaborate and share. You dare post your daggone sermon in there because you will get kicked out. Your live stream is not that type of group. If you got an encouraging word, post it on your own page. This isn't meant for that. This is meant to help collaborate with other people when they having issues, technology questions, stuff like that, or just support in general. That's what we talk about. I have been hemming and hawing, and honestly, I've been busy. I haven't had a chance to do my other podcasts. I got a bunch of them that I got to do, but the next one I think I'm going to do just because it's a whole bunch of stuff that's been happening. If you've been on the roundtable, I kind of talked about it. It's how to be a good bad guy. That's what I have coming up. It might not even be a podcast. It might be just a regular video. It's talking about when you have to be a bad guy and tell people the truth that they aren't ready to hear and how to handle that. I've had a couple of those situations recently. We're going to be talking about that. We're at 64,300 subscribers, folks. So just remind everybody, I promised y'all for every 10,000 new subscribers, all the way up to $250,000, we're going to be doing a giveaway. We have one giveaway of $2,000, which is a PTZ, a ATEM Mini Extreme, PoE switch. I believe a joystick was included and stuff like that. And then, or 2 1,000s, which was a mini PC, a PTZ camera, and everything they talked about in a video, how you can do everything with a mini PC. So that link is down below. If not, you got it right here, but it is down below. Please know that if you've already entered, you do not have to enter multiple times. We already got you in there. All right, and I think I got everything else set up. Just doing all the formal stuff before I get to everything, folks. So we cut over here, and I have reluctantly, I ended up upgrading to Pro Presenter the monthly. So we're updated and all this other fun stuff now. But just give you a shout out if you like what I do. And again, I don't take sponsorships because I have never been offered one. But if you go to emissionarygear.com, this is where you can buy merch and all this other stuff like that. And all the funds for that go to help support this and what we do. It helps us buy the gadgetry and all this other stuff that y'all ask me to review, because some of these companies do not send me stuff. So most of the time I got to go buy it with my own money. So that's what helps contribute to this stuff. Also, folks, we want to shout out your teams. Send me an email at questions@ajhomes.com. Make the subject my media team and send us a picture of your team so we can shout them out. And we got one from Oregon City Bible Chapel. This is the brother team from Oregon City, Oregon. And let me get the email here so I can read everything properly. This is Eli and Malachi. I had it open and I closed Outlook before I got a chance to do this. So this is from Scott. He submitted this. And just want to give my media team at Oregon City Bible Chapel a shout out. Eli in the foreground is running the projector. Hey, thank you, Lacine M, for subscribing. Where was I at? Eli in the foreground is running the projector, PTZ cameras, and the live stream on Zoom and Facebook, while Malachi in the background is running the front of house and audio streams on Discord and Shoutcast. They have been cross-trained and switch roles often. Yes, they are brothers. These guys have been such a blessing, good problem solvers, and show up every Sunday morning. I do appreciate them very much. They said, of course, they had to ham it up for the second I told him I was going to take a picture. And also, he said, Scott was telling me happy birthday. And Malachi also shares the birthday on September 5th. So, Malachi, happy belated birthday to you as well, too. So, again, folks, send me a picture of your team. That y'all are doing some great stuff. And a lot of times in the media ministry, we're the last ones to get shouted out. So, I want to take this opportunity. And hold on, I just realized I don't have my screen on. Hold on. Okay, I can't get to it. My web presenter is not hooked up to this monitor, so I couldn't see the audio. But anyway, folks, again, like I said, send me an email with a picture of your team so I can shout them out because they're doing great work. And there's an opportunity for me to, give them their flowers so they can, we need to tell people that we appreciate them. We don't need a special day. Just tell them. You should tell people that whenever because you just never know. Also, again, big thank you for all those who have purchased my second book. It is available on Amazon. We still have some that are available here. If you want them signed, go to AJaytheCEO.com, and then you can get a couple of them. First book is not available, but the second one on the website, I do have about 15 left. So if you want to do that, that's available. Also, just a reminder that anybody missed it, unfortunately, our group vacation has been canceled, and our missionary cruise for next year, the official, has been canceled. I'm still going, meaning that it canceled because we weren't able to maintain the group rate and book enough rooms to keep that discount. So, unfortunately, I'm not able to do that. I may try and set it back up if we have enough people. We need to have at least 8 rooms booked, but I'm still going. So, that's about it. And I think that is enough. What else we got? So that was a shout out to Oregon City Bible Chapel. That's their stuff. And if you saw me on the Facebook group, we got a new drone that's out and is voice activated. It can launch from your hand. And this thing is $190. So we've already had some fun with this. Hopefully it should be here next week. It was just a little, that was my birthday gift to me. That's what I got. So anyway, I think I blabbed enough. Let's see. If y'all have any questions, folks, please start it with a Q. That way I can jump out and answer it very easily. Who else we got on here? Terrence, hey, good morning. Derek, good morning, and thank you. Okay, I already responded to that one. MGD Doc from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Hey, good morning and thank you. Michael Baldwin, hello. G-Man, man, I haven't seen you in a minute. Hey, how you doing? Anthony said you'll be submitting some teams to work with. Thank you, sir. And Norm, hello. All right, first one that we got here. Mr. Baldwin, AJ, I recently upgraded to DaVinci Resolve 19, and I have ArtX 1650 on my laptop. Oh, RTX. Oh, I have a RT. I was like, art. I have a RTX 1650 on my laptop, and GeForce Experience with the NVIDIA. When I upgraded, I could not open up my DaVinci Resolve program in their application. All right. So when you're using that, I believe the 1650 does have the cores that are needed, the CUDA cores. That's what they're called. So if I open up DaVinci Resolve real quick, I need to switch it back to one monitor here for a second. Give me a second. And they did. DaVinci Resolve 19 is officially out. It is not in beta anymore. I am using the studio version. That is the paid version. You pay for it once and you got it for life. I've had it since version 12. But the non-studio version is 19. You still have all the other stuff except for some of the AI features they have turned off. So let me switch this to, I don't want dual screen. And I guess I could have done that on here. All right, so we're just going to go up here to preferences, and we're going to go to memory. And the main thing is it tries to pull from our GPU. So again, it's pulling from here. So that's the one that I'm using, and it's using CUDA cores. That is for the NVIDIA one. OpenCL is for AMD or Radeon CPUs. If it's opening up and failing, the easiest thing for you to do is to, let's see if we can find it here. I'm going to hit the Windows key and the R key, and we're going to open up the command prompt, and you can't see it over here. So let me see if I can do it a different way. So we're going to go over here, and we're going to do %app data %, and it will take you to your app data for your program. So we're going to look under Blackmagic Design, and hold on. There you go. So now you can see where I'm clicking at. We're going to go to DaVinci Resolve here, and we're going to go to Preferences, and what you will probably want to do is uninstall DaVinci Resolve completely. After you install it, go here, and if you have anything in your preferences, completely delete it, because I don't know why this is trying to make it so hard to read. Because every time when I turn on my ATEM, it gives me this super tiny text. So I think it is the XML. Let me open this up and let's see. No, it's not. Anyway, what you need to do is go in here after you uninstall DaVinci Resolve, completely delete out everything under the DaVinci Resolve folder. If you have the studio, you should still have the code. Before you do this, make sure you take down the code, save it somewhere, deactivate it in your studio before you uninstall it. Uninstall it, delete all the files here, reinstall it, because most likely it's just your configurations got corrupted. And NVIDIA has this issue sometimes when they have do their updates, it kind of messes up some stuff. I actually noticed that. That's why my OBS all of a sudden is missing everything for the profiles. I have no idea why I did that, but I got to rebuild that after I did an update. But that's what I would probably check. And then once you install it, it's redoing everything all over again. So it'll rebuild out all this stuff. So hopefully that will help you. And I need to close DaVinci Resolve so I can actually see y'all's questions. M16V3. Hello, Hive Mind. What did I miss? Prayer request. Just scheduled my CCNA exam 1 month from now. It's no joke. Well, we will pray and touch an agreement that God will bring everything to your remembrance. What did he say to the disciples? Give no thought to the things that you need to say, because he will give you the word and what you need to say in the time of need. So we know you're going to do great on that. Faith Assembly Christian Church Center, excuse me. I noticed that when I am using OBS Restream, the volume is good while it is live, but when you go back to review it, it's low. How do I fix that? Are you streaming anywhere else with Restream? Because if you're streaming to like different platforms and the volume is the same, then I would probably just boost the volume going into OBS. If one of them is doing, if you're seeing like you're going to Facebook and YouTube and the YouTube volume is fine, but then Facebook isn't, that isn't something that's in your control. That's something that they're doing on their side, unfortunately. So that's why I need to do this other video as well too about other things that need to be done behind the scenes. Like I always recommend that you always record everything, no matter what. Even if you're uploading everything, like for example, I can talk about Antioch. Antioch, we have the hyperdeck to where we used to record all the services, and then that's when I used to edit. That's where the church post production live stream that came on Sundays, where I would show me editing. That's what I used to do, but now since they just live stream, they just push everything up to the live stream, and there's no recording. There's nothing the matter with that, but what happens when you lose power? I've been replacing a bunch of churches' stuff because we had some really, really bad storms in the last like 4 weeks. And I've gone through about 7 churches and replacing stuff because stuff just got fried. No surge protector can protect when lightning really hits something. Hopefully it'll suppress it. But anyway, so the idea is you want to record service because you never know. Internet could go out, then what you're going to do. Unfortunately, we had situations where we had, some people pop in and we had to use the recording. We had to submit that to the police. We've had to do that because we had the best seat in the house, the best cameras in the house, and we were able to get stuff like that. We've had medical emergencies where that was going to be up live. We needed to record it and back up everything and then erase that stuff. So that's one thing I would say you need to record it. But anyway, I say that to say that in your scenario, if Restream is going to Facebook, fine, but YouTube, audio, or whatever, platform 1 is audio is fine, platform 2 is bad. This is where the recording would come in handy. You come in, boost the audio, and then, re-upload it. So that's just one thing I highly recommend, that y'all always record your stuff because you just never know when you might need it. D Green. Do you see any use case for drones in a church ministry? Yes, but you need to and that reminds me, I need to update my license. Know that when you have drone stuff, first off, you can't sell any work. That's why I don't charge anybody. I don't even offer me using drone stuff for anybody else because you need to have a license, a commercial license. If you're making any money, if you're using your drone, there are certain rules you have to do. You can't go over 400 feet. You can't fly over people. You can't fly in public areas. There's so much stuff that you can do. So how did I use drone stuff? I would go to Antioch during the week and there's nobody there and it's just me. And I would fly and get aerials of the church, other stuff to use in announcements. So like, for example, they don't use the video announcements. If they want me to come back and train them on some stuff, I get them back up to speed with the announcements. But let me see. So we still got, the stuff is still up on their channel. So like if I play their announcements, and this was like in 2020. So when this pans out, so see, shots like this, there's nobody there in the church. I would do stuff like this to just get different type of angles and stuff like that for your drone. Please do not fly the thing over people, because last thing you need is to say you're doing it for the church and then all of a sudden you get hammered and you get fined with the FAA because you didn't do your stuff right. So again, most of the stuff when I'm doing my drone stuff, I'm by myself. It gives me a unique angle. And I forgot to put my phone on mute. It gives you a unique angle and all this other stuff to give. Okay, sorry. I was went back up to New Hope and I was installing their Casa plugs, but their internet was out, so I couldn't finish setting up the Wi-Fi to control everything. So I'm gonna have to figure out when I can go up there. Anyway, I lost track of mine. Just make sure, yes, you can use it. I use it for getting B-roll footage and all this other stuff, so that way you don't have to buy anything from anybody else. It's really cool that you can actually do some stuff and see. And I don't want to show my triflingness, if I can use that as a word. So, like for example, if I cut back over here, I did this right when people were coming in for the last graduation that I did, and immediately when more people started coming, that's when I was like, "Oh, we got to take this down because we don't want to get in trouble." So when I did the graduation at Prince George, you cannot fly this over a football game. I've seen people do that, and that's super stupid. So I was up there early in the morning before anybody was up, and then I was like, all right, let me take a shot, and then I came right back down. So if this was an actual football game or something like this, no, you cannot do this. And honestly, this is probably borderline. I shouldn't have probably did this, to be quite honest. I think I was up there for like 10 seconds, and then I flew over there to get a shot for my thumbnail, which you never saw. So anyway, that was about it. So yes, I think it is. It gives you unique shots. Like I did one where you never saw it, where I had the doors of the church open. The church was empty. I flew into the church, all this other stuff like that. I actually used my drone when I needed to change the projectors and we didn't have a lift. So I took my drone up to see the type of connections that I needed before we had the lift, stuff like that. But I mean, you could do a lot of interesting things like I said, flying into, do an aerial from the top of the church, come all the way down, fly into the front door, into the entrance. It's almost like people are, I had it put together to where it's like, hey, we're welcoming people into the church, and the drone gives a look of people walking in. And then if you do it right, you can fly into the church where the church is completely empty, mark exactly where your camera is, and you can cut that into video of you walking with a camera with the sanctuary open. So it looks like you're flying in and there's people actually there, but you're making a soft cut to where right when the door opens, you cut over to where there's people there, which you cannot fly a drone with a lot of people around there. So that's just some thoughts that I've done with other things like that. Rhonda, I had to update my NVIDIA drivers as well to use DaVinci Resolve. I have the RTX 3050. It's been fine so far and actually runs faster. Awesome. Mr. Albert, I started going to a new church about a month ago. They are live streaming to Facebook from an iPhone. They're open to starting an online Bible study. Any words of wisdom? Start with what you got. If you looked at the video I did with the Stream M2, that is a good one that you can go with like a cheap camcorder and hook it up to your computer if you want to, and then you can have scripture and stuff like that. But the best thing is just start. Once you start, you'll know what you need to move on next once you get started. A whole lot of people have analysis paralysis. They overanalyze everything before they get started. When you get started, you'll know what you need once you start moving. So, because if I had known I needed all this stuff before I ever started YouTube's, getting serious with YouTube 6 years ago, I would have never started. When I started with what I got, that's what led me to like, this is kind of difficult for me to have a webcam, and it's real problematic over with my cell phone to have it like this. But then when I need an overhead, then I need to move it. Then I need this. And I'm like, you know what? I need to, now that I'm in the situation, I need to do this, this, and this. So it opens up and educates you on the things that you need to do next. But you only know that once you start moving. Mr. Bruce, hello, everybody from Beaumont, Texas. I will watch the replay. Got another media ministry project to work on. Hey, great success to you. Brian Jones, hello. Juanita, that is interesting because I get that issue all the time. I would be listening on both Facebook and YouTube, and the people on Facebook always say the volume is low. That is on Facebook's side. It's like garbage in, garbage out. If you are good in, good out. If you have good audio coming in, you're hearing it from there and it's fine, and it's going out in one platform, it sounds perfectly fine, and the other one isn't. It's the same way when I have people on live stream saying that, like, you have one or two people saying that the audio is low, or even like now, I'll have some of y'all will be on my live stream saying, hey, AJ, the audio is low, but then some of y'all were saying, AJ, the audio is fine for me. It's more of if everybody is having a problem, if both platforms are having a problem, that's something maybe that you need to look at the restream or look at your stuff. If only one is the problem, you can't do anything because you're sending it to restream. After whatever restream does, it may be restream or it may be that other platform that's having a problem. It's kind of out of your control at that point. But again, I'm more of a mindset. I'd rather everything be broken than one thing, because if everything is broken, you know where to diagnose. If only one thing is broken and out of your media ministry and it's through a different company or something like that, Facebook Restream, you're kind of out of your control of what you can do about that. Norm, a weird problem. When stopping OBS stream, it doesn't stop the broadcast. I have to then stop the broadcast also. Where's the setting to stop the broadcast when stopping the stream? Well, that all depends on your platform. So, for example, I will give you a little behind the scenes look at what I'm streaming right now. So right now, here is what I'm looking at on YouTube. So if I'm making sure it doesn't show what I don't need it to show. So if I go here and I go to streams, see, there's a setting right here that had to be turned on before I do it, to where it says enable auto stop. I have this turned off just because if I lose a connection, I don't want this to end. But in your scenario, I mean, even though I have stable internet, I changed this to where if I hit stop, it would detect it and it will automatically stop. I don't do that because when I'm actually 30 seconds ahead of y'all. So if I hit stop, it would immediately just kill the stream. So that's why I turn it off. So under YouTube, under your streaming settings, it's right there. That's where you need to do it. And it's a similar setting that's under Facebook when you do it. So that's what you got to do. And that will propagate down. So if you're using Restream, you have now actually Restream is talking to the API, so it will end the stream when you're going to any of those other platforms. So you should not have to worry about that if you're using like Restream or something like that. Hey folks, as you probably saw, there's 60 people watching, but we only got 12 likes. So if you don't mind, would you take a half a second, click that like button? And if you're watching, you're like, how come I can't leave comments? It's because these streams, you have to be a subscriber to leave it. It helps avoid all the bots and all this other crazy stuff out there. And also hit that bell notification. That way you don't miss out when we come out with other videos. So I greatly, greatly appreciate it. And it's just making me think. This time last year, I was in London. I was coming home. Coming home the next day. So I had been talking about going to London for 15 years. So last year for my 45th, I actually was able to go there. So good times. And it made me think about you. How do I connect my camera to the bigger-ish screen on top of the camera as well to my, how do I connect my camera to the bigger screen on top of the camera as well to my ATEM? I don't understand the screen. Are you using like a multi-monitor or something like that you hook on top of your camera? Is that what you're doing? I need a little bit more specifics on what you got. Back to Juanita. Oh, sorry. Good morning. My mama did teach me to speak when I. You're fine. G-Man. We have a capture card with one camera now. Would it benefit me to purchase an ATEM Mini Pro? Yes, it would. I believe, and especially if it's a church, to be real honest, I would go with the ATEM Mini Extreme just because it sets you up in the future. My mindset is not just keep buying, because originally I went through every single ATEM. I had the ATEM Mini, the first one, worked great. And then when I went to the ATEM Mini Pro, it helped me record. Then I went to the ISO and it helped me with my editing. Then went to the ATEM Mini Extreme, which helped with multiple inputs. But then I went to the ISO that helped for multiple recordings of everything. And then you can't see it. I actually tried to repair an ATEM Television Studio HD that I have now in the rack. That was from one of the churches that it got fried. So I don't need to use all those connections. So I'm using it until it dies. Then I also have another ATEM Mini Extreme that's behind me that the multi-view burnt out during the thunderstorm. Everything else works, just the multi-view doesn't work. So we got a bunch of them that we're trying to play around with, and now this is not my essential one. Maybe I can open it up and see if we can fix it. But I would probably say yes, because it sets you up in the future so that, you know, you're not rinse and repeating. So if you go to the ATEM Mini Pro and then it's like, I reached the limit of I can have the multi-view or the program out. I can't have both unless you use the USB out. that would go to your computer, and that can give you the multi-view, but then you're losing the functionality of recording. Like I said, once you start moving, you'll realize, oh, these are the limitations of what you got. If you're satisfied with that and you just want more inputs, I say go for it. I mean, at $295, I mean, it's not like it used to be. It used to be like $695 for the ISO and $595 for that one. Now it's $295. I don't think there's an issue with it. I just think long term, I never really install an A10 Mini Pro for anybody unless they're in a home studio. But even then, I recommend they go with the Extreme. But that's your choice. Giawa wants to know, did you paint your studio? No, I did not. I have smart light, RGB lighting there, and that's why I normally have in the background. Hold on. I got my other camera here so I can actually show you, and I don't have my mic connected, so you won't be able to hear me. Actually, hold on. That's why I had this mic in front of you, AJ. My Rode. All right, so I got to take the headphones off. So on this one, if I turn my camera on, and that's input number 3. So what I normally have here is I have a RGB light right there that shines up here, and then I got another one right here. That is what's doing the background back behind here. And like I said, there's the broken ATEM. There is the ATEM television studio that we got there, and we got a bunch of gadgetry and stuff. I mean, if you really want to see, here's the work area. So hold on, let me take that comment down. So we press that, and our comments go down. So that is my server that's streaming to my website and Twitch. That's what I'm looking at. There's Pro Presenter, main camera, other thing that this is the screen that y'all see when I go there. The Rodecaster, that is my ISO number 2 that I normally use for I'm doing traveling. That's what's going to disconnect and be connected to the television studio, so that will stay in the case. This is the screen that normally is showing my web presenter, but I have it disconnected and it's connected to the television studio. This is my main streaming system right here with an RTX 2070. This is what's running vMix and all this other stuff. And as you can see, it does need to do an update, but I won't going to do that until everything is over. Studio camera that I don't have hooked up. There's the BZB Gear AI tracking one. There's the SMT AV overhead. There's my Pocket Cinema camera and my other rack. And I think I got enough cable so you can actually see it. So if you really, really wanted to see, there's my server closet right there with our UDM Pro. Make sure I can still see. The UDM Pro, we got a Pro 24 switch. We also have an aggregate 10 gigabit switch, my 3 NASs there, and there's the Anchor that's providing UPS backup power to my whole network. So there you go. There's the full tour. I really need to rewire a bunch of this stuff, but I just haven't had a chance to. But you asked one question. Hold on, my cable is stuck up under my chair. So there you go. Yay! So I hope you like that little tour there. Greater Zion Media Ministry. What's a good way to balance music and worship team in the stream? Live balance is great. Stream is cutting out either band, track, or singers. You have an Allen Eve Z24X. Now, where are you streaming? Excuse me. Where are you streaming to? And do you have a separate mix that's going for your live stream? We can go from there. We love a trifle. Norm. Not a question, but we are on the top of a hill near electric substation. Got several lightning storms near us, so we installed a lightning arrestor, and since then, no more problems. I might need to look into that. But again, this was rare. It was a really, really, really bad storms here in the area because I think stuff at Gates got fried, stuff at Lebanon got fried, stuff at Mount Sinai got fried. Abundant Life. It was about like a total of 7 churches, and then I just went back to First Union Baptist Church. That's where I was yesterday. They had their SDI switch got fried. So yeah, I mean, I think it hit something with the coax because that's when I'm using the Thor to send everything throughout the church, and that's what got fried. That's the only thing that has any type of external connection. But yeah. Christ First United Methodist Church, Jamestown. Hello, hello. And back to Greater Zion. Mini PC for streaming or display. Is it mini PC for streaming or display? Is it possible? I mean, yeah, it is. You get like the one I have is the Ryzen 7 that I moved upstairs, so I have a computer on the TV upstairs to work. Yeah, I mean, you got enough horsepower behind it. Yes, it can be dedicated streaming or display. You could do both. I don't recommend both, but it can do both. Back to Darren. What are your favorite budget beginner drones? Now it's the Neo, the Mini 3. The Mini 3 is one of my favorites right now. Because it's so tiny. It's under the weight, so you don't have to really register this one. And that new Neo one is small enough that you don't have to register. It has enough sensors around the front and back. I mean, you would have to be going out of your way to crash this thing. This is one of my favorites right now. I started with the Phantom 3, crashed it on my first flight. Got it repaired, sold it to someone at Antioch. I think he might have sold it because he's been busy as a coach, so he hasn't been able to fly it. That was years ago. Then I have a Mavic 2, a Mavic 3, the Mini, the Avata 2, and now I have the Neo. The Avata 2 I really like, but because it is a first-person view, you need to have somebody with you because if you have those goggles on, and I can't, that's what I'm thinking about going back to contacts because I have to take my glasses off to put the goggles on. But when you fly one of those, per code, it is recommended that you have somebody be a spotter because somebody can come back behind you and clock you on the back of your head and you would never know because you're locked into here. So I don't get a chance to fly that as much as I would really like. I fly it in places where I know I'm by myself. And it's not easy for somebody to get in there to be near me. And like when my daughter's with me, I'll have her spotted, but most of the time, sometimes she's not paying attention. So that one thing. But I say the Mini 3 is really good. It's very affordable, and that's what a lot of the shots that you've seen, anything past 2023, that's what I was using on most of those. Philip Paul, hello, hello. Back to G-Man. We have... Oh, I already answered this. So I would say I would highly recommend going to the A10 Mini Extreme just because you have the super source and you have more features that gives you that. And you have the 2 USBs, the multiple outs, all that stuff. It will save yourself in the future. Faith Assembly Christian Center. What type of wireless transmitter would you recommend that has the lowest latency? Currently using 2 Hollyland Mars 400 Pros wireless. That's what I was going to recommend. Those are the ones especially for cameras. I was going to talk about the DJI ones, but a bunch of people were saying it wasn't fast enough compared to the Mars one. So those are the ones, unless Hollyland comes out with a newer model, that's the ones that a lot of people have been recommending for that. Charles Macro, peace AJ, long time subscriber, great work, bro. Thank you very much. I work for a large church in tech that evolved into media production. I record, stream, edit, graphic design. I make a decent salary, but could make a lot more. Any advice to grow my business? I have an LLC and do my own outside work. The main thing, I mean, I guess you can consider YouTube advertising, but most of my business comes from either people seeing me on YouTube, but the most of it comes from recommendations. People will go to different churches and they see and they ask. The main thing is you need to make yourself more visible, and you need to show what you know. Because again, when I got started, a lot of people were like, who is AJ? We don't know him. Nobody did anything like that. So I had to build out my portfolio, even if my portfolio, I was my own client. Or I would do stuff for family. I would do stuff for friends. I would do other stuff for churches, and then I would document it. You need to build up a portfolio with your body of work to show what you do. That's why I sample so much stuff. So I was messing with the Unify stuff. I was messing with the Wi-Fi stuff. I was messing with audio stuff and looking at getting into lighting and all this other stuff because I had to build my body of work. So when people come and have questions, I have something to reference. That's what I would probably say. And then, offer a lot of your time and your services for free. Not big stuff that's going to be like $50,000 worth of work or something like that. Nothing crazy like that. But if you put your ear to the ground and you hear people are having an issue with your Wi-Fi or anything like that, or they're complaining about their graphics or something like that, you need to just I'm not going to go into it right now. I don't think y'all ready for some of that stuff. But if you believe truly what it's saying in the Bible, we really are shooting ourselves in the foot. All right, MA16 V3, I'm getting on my box right now. I'm trying to scale this down so I don't go too over the top with it. One of my issues that I have with church, and this is what I say to other churches that I'm a client with, or people email me, they're like, well, we're a small church. We don't have the money for this, this, and this. It says that my God shall supply all your needs according to his riches and glory by Christ Jesus. So when somebody tells me we don't have the money for this, this is me not being PC. This is just telling you this is AJ. It makes me feel that either you don't believe what it says or you just playing with this thing. And the reason I say that, I remember posting a video a long time ago where I said when I had lost my car, when I went through my divorce, and I needed a vehicle, and I prayed to God saying, hey, if you want me to go train media ministries, I need a car. I remember somebody at the time posted on that video saying that you can't ask God for this and that. And I think that's the issue. We are so... It says, prove me herewith, saying the Lord of hosts, if I would not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing that there shall not be room from us to receive it. I will rebuke the devourer in your sake. There's a reason why that stuff is there. And honestly, whether Christians want to believe it or not, the people who don't believe, who are super wealthy, they are actually following biblical principles. That's the reason why they're there. That's why it also says that, the wealth of the wicked is set aside for the righteous. Anyway, I'm not trying to get into that. The idea is we're sitting on all the power and we're not leveraging it in any way, shape, or form. So when you want other opportunities, it's like, God, hey, enlarge my territory. In other words, open my mind so that I can hear the needs of your people, so that I can be there. Look, I'm putting my hand on the plow. I'm not going to step away from it. Open my mind to hear and be able to feel the need of the things that are there in the area. You want to know how my channel grew? That's what I did. I didn't go out here and just trying to beat myself, even though it looks like I'm working like a yard dog. I went out there and saying, God, this is what you want me to do. I'm going to be faithful. I ask you to bring the clients to me. That's why at least giving you some transparency about me. When God told me to leave music and do media, the other thing that he told me is I do not advertise. That's why I don't do ads. I don't do Google ads. I don't do none of that stuff. Because he said, if you just do what I tell you to do, I will bring the people to you. And I just trusted that that was the situation. So when I need to move, when I needed more space, I was like, God, I'm doing everything that you want me to do, but it's not safe for me to bring all this stuff when I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment. I need more space. Not more space just so I can brag. I need more space so I can do more of what you want me to do. And everybody told me that was wrong. But guess where? Guess what? I'm not in a 1-bedroom apartment because I went boldly before the throne saying, God, this is what I need to accomplish. You said he will provide seed to the sower, meaning that if he wants you to accomplish this, he's going to give you the stuff that you need. So I just went out on that. And a lot of people don't talk about that stuff. They're afraid that, oh, you can't ask for this. Yes, you can. You can ask God for anything. That doesn't necessarily mean you're always going to get everything in the right time. But when you're asking for the very thing that he gave you the talents and abilities and the desires to do, God never gave me a desire to be an NBA star or a football player. I'm 5'5". I have no interest. He gives you the desire of what you have. So why in the world would he give you a desire of wanting to grow your business, wanting to influence more people? Why would he give you a desire and then tease you with the ability to not do it? If he gave you the desire, he's also going to give you the seed so that you can meet that desire. Anyway, I'm off the box now. Let's go back to answering some media ministry questions. Derek, good morning. AJ, what is the best platform to be used to bring in a guest into my live using OBS and A10 Mini Pro? I mean, I've done this on a couple of videos. Do Zoom, or you can use OBS Ninja, either one of those. You can have Zoom plugged into one of the inputs on the A10 Mini, have that screen put up into input number 2, have input number 2 get brought over, and you can use the picture-in-picture, the DVE function inside of the ATEM, and then you can have them side by side. I did that with an Ash Wednesday service, a bunch of them. I would highly recommend you look that up, but that would work. But OBS Ninja works as well, too, for that. Scott, hey, thank you for that. And AJ, thanks for the shout out. And I'm sure they'll appreciate it. Hey, you're welcome, and thank you for sending that. Kevin, good morning, happy birthday. You made it. Yay. My PTZ cameras stay on. Sometimes I have issues with the camera maintaining color and autofocus. Do you recommend shutting cameras off weekly? Yes, I never keep my cameras on. When I'm not using them, I have them off. Because most likely your cameras are set to autofocus. And again, I don't know if you got lights, you got windows, anything in there. It's going to change based on that. Those cameras are going to be active the entire time doing that. Me personally, I don't use any of the cameras. Any of the cameras I got here, these stay off unless I need them to be used. And that's the same way I have it. I install it. I have it going into a PoE switch that's right behind me. When I turn the PoE switch off, it turns all the stuff off. So yes, I would recommend that. Again, I have an external monitor that I can connect to my camera via HDMI, to mini HDMI, but I want to find out how I can connect the camera to the monitor screen. And I had something similar. Either you're going to have to put a splitter on it, or the monitor that I used to have, it was a Hollyland that I did for the exact same thing. It had HDMI in and HDMI out. So I would bring it from my camera into the screen so I can see it, a bigger viewfinder. Then I had an HDMI out, kind of, and it's upstairs. My drone had the same thing. It had a screen that it had HDMI in and it had an HDMI out. So back in the day when I used to have my drone connected to my live stream, when I used to do this a long time ago, I would have my drone up in the air and it would be a shot going into my ATEM because I had the HDMI out from my screen. So the one I had was like only $70. So it was like a 5-inch external monitor. So I hooked it to my camera, had the HDMI out from the camera go into that. And then that monitor also had an HDMI out as well, and that's what I fed back into the ATEM. Brother Art, hello. All right, I already answered that. T, AJ, have you ever seen a Black Magic microconverter not work even if both of the lights on the converter? Yes, actually, I had one that was fried from Abundant Life that had the exact same thing. It lit up, but it was an issue. So yes, I actually had that earlier this week. So I would probably say just replace them. I got tons of these that I'm about ready to install to replace, and I got another 4 on the floor. So these, if you get them from B&H Photo, they're not marked up. Ones without a power supply at B&H Photo are $59 for either one. You get them from Amazon, they try and charge you $75. And at that point, just if you're gonna spend $75, go to B&H Photo, get the bi-directional ones that cost $75. They don't mark it up. They give you at the same retail price that Blackmagic charges. Let's see. MA16V3, I think power protection is worth it. Our networking had to be completely replaced. Yeah, I that's why, honestly, what I've been doing ever since, and some people think I'm marking it up, but that Anchor F1200 is a rated UPS as well too. So, and I used to have APC battery backups, but those things would last for like 30 minutes. That Anchor, which yes is 3 times the price, will last for 27 hours with my stuff plugged in and as a UPS. That's the reason why when I install stuff now, I put that in there. And sometimes people are like, why? I said, I promise you, when you lose stuff, when you lose power and that thing is on for days without any issues, you'll be glad I put it in. So that's kind of the reason why now I use the Anchor F1200, because it is rated as a UPS. The C1000 is not a UPS, so it'll still fluctuate on power. But that's the reason why I use those. Hopefully they'll come out with a smaller one. Because right now, actually, let's look at it. Let's see the price of this thing. So the power station, not the big ones. So it's the power stations here, portable power station. This is the one I want to get. If I could do it here, I don't have the rights to the permissions to do anything with the electrical here at the house that I'm renting. This is what I would do, and that would back up everything in the house. But anyway, the one that I have, so see, the C1000 is not a UPS, but I'm looking for the one that actually has it rated for that. So right now, this is actually on sale. This is the one that I have in the back, and it is a uninterrupted power supply with official certification. This one will be able to do that, and that's what runs my network. So when we lose power, I still got internet, I still got Wi-Fi, and it's mainly for my NASs, so I don't lose anything. So this is what I normally install there. I don't know if they have any other ones at a lower price. See, that's not, yeah, they're not listing it the way I want it. But anyway, that's why I use those, the battery backups. It might be the EcoFlow might have the same option. I haven't looked into it, but that's the one that I'm using. Special Streets of Destiny, OBS multiple platform. Could you demo the setup and how to use it? I will try, but I'm probably going to fake some of the stuff because I don't want to put real codes in there. So, and of course, it messed up all of my settings. All right, so we might have to do the whole thing because, like I told you, all of my profiles, everything vanished on here. So first we got to do, I did a video on this, but let's just go through the whole thing because I need to do it right now. OBS multiple RTMP plugin. And take this. We're going to download this. Scroll all the way down here to the installer. I'm using the X64. I'm going to go ahead and install that. And if y'all are wondering why the text is so small, I have 4K monitors. So every time when I crank up the font size, stuff gets messed up. So sorry if it's being so small. All right, so we got that installed. Now let's open up the OBS. And where is my dock? Huh. Why is that not showing? Hold on. Don't you just love it when the stuff doesn't work? So we go to downloads. Why? Stinks. Got it installed, but it didn't. See, that's the latest. Fix the bug crash. Let's try this again. Where are my files? I skipped the files. That's that. This. Let's do the zip this time. Shouldn't be any different. Let me make sure OBS is closed before we install it. All right, so I like this one because I can actually drag the files where they need to. So let's go into Program Files. And let's make this a little bit bigger so we can actually see it. I'm going to go to our OBS folder. And did it move it to the x86 folder? I believe it did. Where is it at? There it is, OBS Studio. No, that's not right. Where did they move it to? I know I'm not. Oh, there it is, OBS Studio 27. All right, so we got data. So we got the data files right here. We go plugins. And we're going to drag this over here. Yes, we're going to continue. Then we're going to go to the other plugins, which is another folder up right here. That is a 64-bit. And we're going to copy these files over here. Yes. Yes. Be mindful of this too. I've used this before, so you just don't randomly install DLL files and stuff like that from unknown sources. So I have no idea why my plugin is not showing. It might be an issue with my OBS. So, Brother Art, sorry, I don't know what's going on. I might need to completely uninstall my OBS and go do everything all over again because it looks like something may have been corrupted because my profiles, none of that is showing. So I would point you back to the video where I did that. That would probably be the easiest thing because right now my stuff is not working. So we got to go back into that. And actually, they have an updated version. So let's fire away at the next one. Reverend Leroy, can you focus in on name of the overhead camera stand? Oh, actually, I remember what that is. Hold on a second. I found the box last time we were talking about it. It's the Archon mounts. That's the exact one that I have. All right. So had it out in the garage and I had to dig it out there for you. And hold on, I'm trying to find it for you. It's not showing. ARK on table mount. So that exact one is not showing. But Small Rigs does have, well, oh, I think I found. Now I'll go with Small Rigs because I've used a bunch of their stuff. So this is one from Small Rig that kind of, I might actually even get this one because I need one that's a little bit more stable on the arm. But this one is actually, I paid $150 for the one that I was showing you. But this one should work very well, and I like Small Rig. They have a bunch of the stuff that I have with my camera, and that you can actually run the cables inside. So that's cool. So I'll put a link to this for you as well, too. Give me a second. Copy that. Table camera mount. There you go. All right, what we got next? Yes, they are, but it's on different type of things. Most of the drones recently have changed to where they have to have some type of tracking so that you have to register it and it tracks where you're going and stuff like that. They're some of the stuff, honestly, I'm not getting political, but most of the people who are making the rules are a bunch of old fogies that have absolutely no clue what the heck they're talking about. Let's do the old Family Guy one. It grinds my gears when I hear people talk about EVs and they've never driven one, and they're talking about you can only drive 10 minutes and it takes you 80 hours to charge it. Lies. Or when people talking about the stuff is, we don't like the drones because it's spying on you. I'm like, as if every TV is not, what, can somebody please name a television, a smart television that is made in the U.S.? And you're talking about you don't like the fact that you think drones are spying on you when every cell phone and every TV has mics and stuff, and you don't think it's just as easy for those to steal your information and spy on you. That's what I'm saying. It's more of an agenda that they have on some of their stuff, and they don't know what the heck they're talking about. Greater Zion, YouTube through an aux. The music is competing with the vocals. I'm thinking it's a mixing issue. Yeah, if you have it going through an aux, but is in that's just an aux out, but is it an actual separate mix so that you can turn it down? That's kind of like what I normally would do so that you have your house mix, you can mix that anyway, but then the same way you can mix the live stream out, not just an aux output, but is it an actual mix that's going to that you can adjust that? Because that, if you have it that way, then yes, you can adjust it. And that's kind of how I do a couple of churches. Anytime I've installed an X32 or any board, that's kind of how I have it set up to do that same thing. Sam, hey AJ, help to update my OC Ghost Stream deck. My memory card slot is broken. Is there any way to update it? Yeah, you can go through the website. If you put your Stream Deck on the network, hold on, let me see if I can plug it in. Alrighty, I got it plugged in. I need to find out its IP address. wired connection uptime. That definitely ain't it. Give me a half a second, folks. I need to find out which one is which. It's not giving it an IP address. Advanced IP scanner. I'm looking at my router and I see it, but it hasn't assigned it an IP address yet. So I can't search for it. But I am searching on MAC address, so give me a half a second to find that. And we're going to search based on this. All right, there it goes. So, come on now. All right, that's port 7. Need to find the IP address of that. All right, that is 223. All right, so now that I got it, let's cut over here. Come on now. And it would be, well, I'm trying to mess with it now. It doesn't want to come up. You should be able to remote into it, and it'll pull up the web page. Let's try. I'm going to do the advanced port scanner just to verify so we can see what channel what ports are open. It normally should be 80, which is the default for web pages. So there it is. I'm just waiting for it to say what ports are open. Worst case scenario, if you can't, this is where you would have to probably contact OC. And that is very strange. It should. Yeah, I was able to pull up the page before when I did the most recent video, so I don't know what's going on. I would probably say, unfortunately, you probably got to reach out to them and see if they can do an update for you. You might have to send it off to them. Unfortunately, that's what I'm thinking. Probably going to have to happen. Hey, you are welcome, Brian. Wireless transmitter. The Teradek has a zero latency model, A750 or something similar. Hey, thank you for that, Brian. Franklin. Just to say hi, long time no see, y'all. Still looking for best affordable PTZ cameras. Greetings. Franklin, what's the budget that you're looking at? Because I know the AVCans E20s are going for around like $380 last time I saw on Amazon. But let me know. Back to Charles Macro. Thank you, brother. I hear you. I'm working with a second church and giving high quality video, photo, and streaming. I'm devaluing my skills, and it's time to have faith and ask for more or move on. Hey, that's what it is. And also, and happy birthday, blessings, and many more. Thank you very much. CHG Media Tech. Peace, AJ. This is Charles Macro from my business. Thank you so much, Rant. I was very real and Tori. I hear you, and I'm going to keep awesome. Derek. Thank you, AJ. And that was a good encouragement. Hey, you're welcome. Patrick, I know the Raspberry Pi can run Companion. How can I use the Companion on the Stream Deck? I didn't see Stream Deck download for the Raspberry Pi. How can I use a Stream Deck? How can you use Companion on a Stream Deck? It won't. It's in reverse. Companion will be installed, and then Companion will makes a new profile on the Stream Deck. I remember when I did that a while ago, and I think Mike has a video talking about that. I know he did that at the conference. I might see about dropping that early for you, but he does go over that as well too. But Companion actually talks to the Stream Deck, and it makes a profile on it so that it can communicate with it. Okay. Why is it that when I connect my ATEM to the computer via USB, the video capture for Blackmagic is black, but the audio is still coming? Which ATEM do you have? Because I remember the original ATEM television studio used to send video and audio over to USB-B, but they did an update, and it kind of stopped that from working. That was the original one, how we used to bring everything in the ATEM back in Antioch back in the day. But when they did that update, I don't know what it was. It was either 3 point something did that, and then we had to go with a capture card. But it all depends. What ATEM do you have? Philip Paul, hey AJ, what is the difference between digital mixer? We already talked about that. You asked me that last time. The difference is just the functionality of digital mixer gives you more updated features that you can do, kind of like digital routing instead of physically having to disconnect stuff. So like, say you have your pastor's mic on number 7, but you want to move it to channel 1. In the analog, you have to physically move it. With the digital, you can just route it and just say, hey, the computer inside the board will say, hey, whatever is plugged into number 7, I actually want it to be number 1. And then sometimes digital ones will let you connect, be able to control it with an iPad, give you a software component. Those are just some of them. Some of the features, the difference. For my other question, I have a Hollyland 400 ME Mars, and we tested it with an HDMI splitter, but sometimes it will glitch out, and we have to replug it in. That sounds more like the splitter. Is the splitter powered, and what type of splitter is it? That's why I kind of stick with the Ori's. I went through so many splitters and had similar issues, but the Ori one, it gives independent power. Depending on your splitter, sometimes it's like if you have a computer plugged into it, it's sending power over the HDMI, and the HDMI is what's powering the splitter. And that might not be enough power for each one of the connections that is being split off from. That's why an external powered splitter, or any type of splitter in general, USB or anything, is going to draw power from the original device. And it might not be outputting enough power. That's why sometimes it would glitch out. One jack will work, one won't, vice versa. That's why I use a powered splitter. But again, not all splitters are the same. Some of them are garbage, and that's why I've had to go through a bunch of them. Back to TE. Okay, I switched them out with working ones, and it worked. So maybe thinking it's the monitor trying to connect the second multi-view screen using the converter to pass through, but getting nothing on the second monitor. Okay. Hey, as long as you got it working, I think that is good. Anthony. I was able to get my AV cans PTZ to work with the PTZ controller in OBS. I've begun to install it at a few churches already. Sweet. Anthony Johnson, hello, sir. Reverend Leroy, you are welcome. And back to Anthony Johnson. Can you give me an idea of setting up a portable handheld iPhone or camera with a gimbal? I have a second PTZ, but wanted to get roaming shots with the ATEM Extreme. So depending, if you're using the iPhone, the new Blackmagic app, camera app, actually will allow you to output a clean feed. And where is that app? On my phone. Blackmagic camera. All right, so with the Blackmagic camera app, it will allow you to actually do an output. Now, it's so much dirt inside of this, and as much as I've cleaned it out, it won't let me connect with a cable, so I can't even demonstrate it. But this one, you could hook up with a dongle that goes to HDMI. Do I have one? Yeah, something like this. So technically, let's see if it'll work. Now, the only thing is sometimes this requires power. the dongle that I use requires power, and I think it's not detecting mine because it's the port on my phone is actually jacked up. But if you did have something like this would give HDMI clean out, and instead of me being wired in right here, you could hook it up to a like one of those wireless transmitters that we've been talking about, and then you can hook it up to the ATEM, and then yes, you could use a phone to do that. Any phone that actually gives you a clean out, and I think with the app from Blackmagic, it allows to do that. So let me see with the Pixel if it does that. Give me 1 second. This I don't have a USB to HDMI dongle. Actually, I do. Let's see if this actually works. Actually, it does. So, see, if I go here now with this, and see, that is coming from here. So there should be an option to be able to have a clean out from here. Monitor HDMI out. So I just want to do video feed. So that's under the settings. So now, see, we have a clean video out. Yay, using the Blackmagic app. So this will work the same way with the iPhone if you have the options. You have a dongle that will work with it. So, yay. So there, I'm plugged into my ATEM. Obviously, that's what y'all can see. You see how long my arm looked? So there you go. So pretty cool. So if we switch back, that's it. So, yay. So if we do picture in picture, so you can see that we are using this at the same time. So there we go. Really cool. So, hey, that's another thing that you can hook up a phone to. And if you had like a wireless adapter on this phone or something like that, I guess you could technically use it that way. So, yay. That worked. I'm glad I don't return stuff because you end up never knowing when you need to use it. Anthony, 409 for the AV cans now. The one, yeah, I think the 409 one is the one with NDI. If you get the one that doesn't have NDI, which is kind of funny because they say it's not NDI, but it actually has NDI in it, is going for $390. But thank you for that, sir. Back to Patrick. I thought the Stream Deck software was needed to operate the Stream Deck, so I can just plug the Stream Deck in the Raspberry Pi without the Stream Deck firmware. You should be able to, because if you're using the companion app, the companion has the drivers to connect to whatever device it's actually using. Now, I have a Raspberry Pi upstairs. I haven't messed with them in a while, but I might need to play around with that, but I don't know. When I had it connected on my computer, in the companion app, it lets you pick what device are you connected to it. So it was like it had drivers for the X keys and all this other stuff like that. But I'm going to have to play with that to see. Joshua, hey, AJ, we are planning on adding PTZ cameras to our media tools. What's your opinion about the SMT camera 30X, 20X, and switch and controller? They work great. This one right here, that's a 12X. I have installed 20Xs and 30Xs. Honestly, they are all exactly the same. The chips, the sensors, all of that is the same. So you'll be good to go with those. And I've installed them in quite a few churches, and they work well. I've had them installed for maybe the last 4 years, and they're still going strong. Because actually, let's see. Antioch has a PTZ optics in the back, but then I donated back in the day. Their front camera is a SMT AV 20X. So let me turn their camera on. Let's see if anybody there in the sanctuary so that way you can actually see it firsthand. So we're going to go to the PTZ Optics app, their free one that can control any cameras on the network. We're going to pin that shot. We go to the front camera, and boom, that is the SMT AV right now inside the sanctuary. Like I said, it's the PTZ Optics one that they sent me back in the day as the first, I don't want to say sponsored video, but they helped me with that. So that's the PTZ Optics one. And then the SMT AV is right there in the front. So that is about 65 feet from each location. So, and it's getting funky on its zoom, but works great for both of them. Hope that helps you. I think I installed that camera 5 years ago, and it's still going strong. Hey, you're welcome, and hopefully by then I'll get my OBS fixed and I can actually walk through it again for you. Now play making sure noticing the time. I have the AVCam's PTZ controller running 3 PTZ cameras. But I don't have the A10 Mini. What does the A10 Mini do, and why do I need it? The A10 Mini is pretty much just a multi-input capture card. So instead of you getting the cameras over the network, which can lag and slow down, and sometimes you have to resynchronize it with the audio, you're going to run a dedicated video cable, SDI or HDMI, to the switcher, and it's going to give you, hold on. So I'll just use this one because this is the easiest one I have in front of me. This is the OC Stream Deck, Ghost Stream. So pretty much what it is, all the cameras will be connected over HDMI or SDI. It all depends which one you got. It will plug into here, and then the USB out is going to go to your computer. And now it's just like a TV. You can press, what camera do I want to see? Oh, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you have them right at your disposal. You can have 3 cameras in your computer here, and it's just a button press, and then that's what's going to the OBS, or some switchers, they can stream directly, and you don't need OBS or any other program like that at all. And why? It looks like, I think this might have fell. A piece of this got chipped. Kind of caught me off guard. Skip over here. Steven. I've tried the companion with the Raspberry, and it works on its own. Sweet. All right, I've already answered that. Answered that. Norm, I cannot get the OBS PTZ controls to work with the AVCam's PTZ cameras using UDP port to use. What UDP port to use? I'm using 1259. That's typically what it is. If it's asking for TCP, try 5678. That is the other port. Or in the camera, make sure. Now, which camera do you have? Some of the older AVCams didn't actually use UDP. It forced TCP. So you might have to change that protocol. Yeah, that's why I would say look at that. Which camera is it? Because if it's the early one, might need to update the firmware. And then, actually, Anthony, thank you. You said the same thing I just said. That's what I'm talking about. Said the exact same thing we were talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right. What page are we on? Yep. I think we're kind of caught up there, folks. So, like I said, I have to jump off and go to a church here locally here. But again, I want to thank you so much. Obviously, we haven't had a chance to update everything, but I want to give a big, if you like what I do, and honestly, like I said, folks, I don't want to start having ads in the middle of my stuff talking about this video was sponsored by War Thunder or this gaming app or this wallet or something. I don't want to do that. So I try to bring this and be very candid with y'all, trying to give you answers to all this other stuff. So if you like what I'm doing, if you want to help support what we do, you can click the join button down below to become a YouTube member, or you can go to patreon.com/AJaytheCEO. And that's what a bunch of these people have done. These are my Patreon supporters that have been here for years. And we also have YouTube members. I have not updated this. So if you've been on here, sorry if I have not added you on here. I'm going to try and do that actually this afternoon when I get back. We got to be running around doing some stuff. But again, no matter which way you pick, folks, you can help. You are helping us train media ministries all over the world. And as a thank you, we actually give them access to our live streams. Our roundtables. They're going to get access to the videos for our conference early. And then I also entered them into our giveaways 2 times. So they have 2 chances to win more. And that's just a way of being telling them thank you. We have other discounts and stuff like that we offer to all of them as well. So, folks, thank you for what you were doing. Thank you for coming to watch my stream. Not just watching my stream. Thank you for dedicating to learn something more to help move your media ministry forward. That's what it's all about. So whether you're watching me or anybody else in the same sphere, thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. I appreciate your hard work, your dedication to what you're doing, because sometimes, real talk, a lot of stuff that we do is thankless. People have preconceived notions of what they think it takes to do what we do, and they have not a stinking clue. So thank you so much for putting in the extra effort, using your own money to pay for stuff when you got people who don't want to give you money from the church to help move the ministry forward. Thank you for all the hard work you're doing. I'm not a part of your ministry, but guess what? We're all a part of this together. We're all a part of the body of Christ. It's not my responsibility or your responsibility to reach everyone. It is our responsibility. I'm not trying to compete with you. I'm trying to compliment you. That's what it's all about. If you got another ministry that's next door to you and you got some skills, offer to help. Help with your skills to the other one, because you never know. You might not be great at audio engineering, and it might be an audio engineer, and they're a completely different denomination. If they believe in the same thing of Jesus Christ, guess what? We need to work together instead of fight with each other. And that's what I hope. At no point in time did I ever ask, what denomination are you, before I would answer your question. It's about trying to help each other. And whether you're a Christian or not, I would still help you, because that's what we're called to do. So, folks, thank you so much. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you for all that other good stuff. I hope you have a great day, evening, afternoon, wherever you is. And we'll be seeing y'all on the next video, folks, later.